What's up, everybody? Chris here from Bold Canyon Outdoors, and we're doing things a little bit differently today. We're out in the BCO tundra. I've got the whole crew. Alanna from Alanna Jurden Photography, the kids, the dogs, we're all loaded up, and we're headed down south to a little town called Red Rock, Arizona, which is just south of Eloy. And we're going to be checking out an old abandoned smelter called the Sasco Smelter, which stands for the Southern Arizona Smelter Company. I've got a whole history of this in our blog, and I'll put the link down below, but it's a really amazing site. I found it on Google Earth and thought, hey, let's do some research and go check it out. So here we go. Come check it out with us. So we're off the highway now, and all the satellite pictures I looked at kind of showed this in the middle of nowhere with dirt roads and kind of farm communities. But we get off the highway, you just saw a little shot of the tiny little corner store that used to be there and whatnot. Next thing I know, we're driving through a totally developed neighborhood. So this was unexpected out here in the middle of the desert, and yet here we are. So we'll just keep continuing on and see what we find. All right, we made it our way to the old Sasco Cemetery. That's been here for a long time. Now it's private property, no trespassing, but it looks like with permission you can go in and put flowers on graves and things like that. But old cemetery. And we'll have some history of this down in the blog also, so be sure to hit that link below. Well, we were able to make it out to Sasco. Unfortunately, at the entrance to the smelter, which was the main attraction out here, there was a bunch of private property, no trespassing signs, so we couldn't get all the way in. All right, we made our way to Sasco. But unfortunately, we came across these signs on both sides of the road that say no trespassing. It looks like this is private property. Now, as you can see, there's the old smelter up there. And there is a really cool foundation right here. I'll walk over and show it to you. We can see this one from the satellite maps. This looks like maybe the entrance or maybe an old root cellar of a house. Pretty well built. Probably took quite a bit of effort to dig this out in this hard ground, but it looks like there's actually a foundation underneath. Pretty neat, lots of old chunks of metal, old cans. And over there it looks like a concrete foundation with the rock wall on top of it. And then up top there's another foundation. Some supports in there. Yeah, pretty well built facility, and you can see clear off in the distance is the smelter. We'll take a walk around here. It's really neat. There's all kinds of bits of metal, old cans, rusty bits. I mean, this used to be a town. So, in addition to what few buildings remain and foundations and things like that, I'm sure there were lots of more temporary buildings like canvas style and tents and whatever the miners could use while they were working. There's a bit of a foundation of some kind here. Somebody's car off in the distance that looks like it was abandoned, shot up and left. Right over here there's a big metal stake in the ground, like maybe it was used to tie down a canvas tent or something. Looks like there's been numerous attempts to get this out of the ground. I don't think it's going anywhere. Looks like kind of a rock debris wall right here. Not necessarily a wall, but maybe people were trying to get rocks out of the ground. Nice smooth spot over here. Maybe they had tents up, who knows. But these were all put here like they were cleared off the ground. But like I said, there's lots of bits of metal. That's a rusty gold out here. Old cans. And let's look at this one. It's still got the top attached to it. Pretty neat old relics out here in the desert. Sure is beautiful out here and quiet. All right, head back to the truck and we're gonna head up the road a bit, see what else we can find. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it all the way to the smelter, but that's okay. We're able to see it from here, And we got a couple of pictures from over by the cemetery. Boy, they don't make them like this anymore. There's that other foundation. Boy, a lot went into this one too. No sign here. That was either a support for something, a tiny house, or a luxury outhouse.
Maybe it was a shower.
I think it was. It has a tile floor.
Wait, it has a tile? Kind of.
Kind of.
It's like a stamped tile floor. Oh, yeah.
Gosh, look at the jackrabbit over there.
Where? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I saw its
wow.
ears.
Huge. It was huge. It's like a dog.
I watched him like jumping across.
Yeah.
It was a huge jackrabbit. I've never seen something that big.
Have you ever seen something that big?
Oh,
Oh, there it is. It was just kind of chilling. It's covered by a bush now. There's someone else over there.
Oh yeah.
I love jackrabbits. Jackets.
What the heck?
Pipe in it. Is it water? Maybe it's a water trough or water something.
There's a big tank on top of it.
Oh, maybe. And then maybe something coming out the side here.
Oh, that could be.
Or maybe just to plug the rainwater.
Oh, that fly is in here. Cassie, he's on your leg.
It's not on my leg anymore. Oh, there he's out. Okay. Oh, he
Oh, the freaking windows are so slow. It's right here.
I think he went out again, I think. That was funny.
What kind of freaking slow windows are these? So we've just entered the Ironwood National Forest, heading further west from Sasco. And another 10 miles down the road is the Silver Bell Cemetery, which is an old cemetery that's mainly full of people that died from the Spanish influenza pandemic over 100 years ago. So that'll be interesting to check out. Turn right. Okay, Sasco Road turned into Silver Bell Road, and we're heading up to the Silver Bell Cemetery right now. So we came from this direction. We're almost to the cemetery. But I wanted to show you this. We're gonna go around these mountains here over to the Silver Bell mine. I'll climb up on this little embankment here. And as you can see, off in the distance there, a lot of those hills are man-made. That's all like tailing pile from the copper mines out there, from the Silver Bell mine. It's been running a long time, so we'll get more footage of that. But for now, I'm kind of headed off in that direction to find the old Silver Bell Cemetery. All right, we're still searching for the Silver Bell Cemetery, but the directions on the map sure aren't very clear. I can't tell what's roads and what's cattle trails. But we're up, here we go. I think we found the right road. Possibly. Aha. No off-road travel, so we gotta stay on the road. We're a 1/10 of a mile from the Silver Bell Cemetery, so it's just right up here. I'm not sure how much of it's intact, but it still shows up on maps. Obviously not being used. There's the Ironwood Forest National Monument sign, so it's part of the National Forest. I see a cross up there, so we'll pull up here, get out of the truck, and do some exploring. Oh, I missed four-wheel drive. It's letting me know. All right, here we are at the Silver Bell Cemetery. Gotta watch where I step. You can see there's tons of rock circles, burial plots, and most of these people died during the Spanish influenza outbreak in the early 1900s. You can see some of them are built up, but a lot of them are just unmarked little spots. Looks like we've got some more over here and some crosses. That's really cool American Southwest history here. Like I said before, I'll put some more information on the history of this down in the blog in the link below. So check that out. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe, because we're going to keep bringing you to fascinating places like this. The old Silver Bell Cemetery. As you can see, we are miles from anywhere. I could feel you looking at me. What? Excuse me while I use my laser eyes in the side of my husband's head. That's all slag.
Oh, we gotta stop.
Yep. Oh, this
All
is neat.
slag.
Take
Ooh.
a picture?
What?
Big squirrel.
Oh wow, look at that. Let me take a picture.
All right, here we are outside the big Silver Bell mine. You can see some of the waste piles there, and this is just a tiny portion of it. It goes clear back behind there, but we just found this interesting field of slag where it was like molten runoff of some kind was taken and poured out and just left behind. So you can see the lines in it if I can get the reflection right. And it was obviously hot and molten at one point, but it's almost in these giant bricks, big squares of it out here. Very cool. Just to really give you an idea of how big this is. And it goes down. We'll take you over to the edge here. So it looks like giant bricks of black. But you can see how far down it goes. So I mean, this is layers upon layers upon layers. So today, being out in the tundra, we didn't have all the gear I normally bring in the Jeep with us, but we always bring the basics. And while I was getting some water for the family, I wanted to cover off on some things that we always bring. So I always bring a cooler full of water, and I always bring way more than I think we're gonna need. We gotta bring water for the kids, the dogs, everybody. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So bring extra. I bring my all-inclusive first aid kit. So this has not only first aid basics, but it has also the trauma gear just in case something horrible happens. Also has emergency shelter, emergency ponchos, fire starter, all kinds of stuff in there. So got all the outdoor preparedness stuff. And since I don't have a winch on this, I always bring my Gear America recovery gear. So that's my ultimate rigging and winching off-road recovery kit. I know that's always hard to say, but that gives me my tow strap, tree strap, shackles, gloves. I've even got the snatch block in there. So got everything there. Of course, bring a shovel, and then always keep our wits about us. So I just wanted to cover off on that. You know, we were only going out for a few hours a day, but hey, if you remember Gilligan's Island, that 3-hour tour can sometimes turn into a heck of a lot more than you're expecting. So always be prepared. Even if you're just bringing the basics, make sure you've got your first aid kit, survival gear, recovery gear, and lots of water for everybody. And be sure to check the links below. I can put links in with a discount code for Gear America for all the recovery gear that you're going to need.